Hello friends, again here Atul Shingarwade in this video lecture series over data mining and data warehousing. In my last video, we have seen the two words, the two terminologies that are used for data analysis purpose, and those are known as classification and prediction. Here in this particular video, we are going to discuss a classification as a two-step process that I have already mentioned here. Classification as a two-step process. So specifically here we are going to discuss regarding this particular classification process. Now, so if we observe here, basically this classification model or the building of that particular classification model, that is a two-stage or two-step process where the first step is of course a model construction and the second step is what we can say the model usage. Model construction and model usage. So we are going to discuss what these two steps are into the details by taking help of certain what we can say the diagrams also. Okay. Now what this particular model construction is. But before going to that, I will again remind you what that classification is. So what we have seen in my last video, classification is nothing but it is the process of categorizing the data values into certain class labels. Okay. And prediction is what? Prediction is nothing but it is the process of building certain continuous valued function. Okay. For predicting the missing or unknown values. Okay. So let us discuss what this classification model construction is. So whenever the classification model is to be constructed, the basic motto behind that model construction is to describe a set of predetermined classes. Now we have to keep in mind here. Classification model always describes what? A set of predetermined classes. Now keep in mind this particular predetermined, this word is very much important. Whenever we are having a database, whenever we are having a warehouse of data, for what reason we are going to what we can say categorizing it. Okay, that is to be determined by specifying what we can say the classes of labels or what we can say the classes. यानी जितना डेटा आइटम्स हमारे पास है उसको कितने क्लासेस में डिवाइड करना. Suppose as an example, we may have what we can say the marks of students. Okay, 100 students are there. उनका percentage मैंने ले लिया. अब मुझे उन particular percentage values को categorize करना है. So I may have the classes called as what we can say the distinction. I may have the class, another class known as first class, second class, third class, and 10th class. So likewise, I can have many number of classes also. Okay. So at first we should have a predetermined classes. Okay, so the basic model construction of this particular classification model is to describe a set of predetermined classes. Now what is given? Each tuple or sample is assumed here, okay, to belong to a predefined class as determined by the class label attribute. Now again we will take the same example, the marks of or the percentage of 100 students are there. Okay, so each percentage value from that particular percentage, always going to belong to a predetermined class. Suppose as an example, if we are having a percentage value called as what we can say 59. Now that 59 value, where it falls, okay, is it greater than 75? No, of course not. So it will not fall into what we can say the distinction category. Is it greater than 60? No. So it will not fall into the first class category. Is it greater than 45? Yes. So that particular value is going to fall into the second class category. Clear? So likewise, whenever the class labels are already known, okay, by taking those particular data values, okay, we will assign it to a what we can say a particular class. Okay, and that's why it is said here that each tuple or sample is assumed to belong to a predetermined or predefined class as determined by the class label attributes. Okay. The set of tuples used for model construction is a training set. Now see, whatever tuples, whatever data items that we are having for constructing this particular model of classification, that particular data set is called as what we can say a training set. Is it clear? So there is word called as training set. What is that training set? Whatever data items that we are having, by making use of that, we are going to categorize those particular data items. We are going to develop that particular model, is called as a training set. So very simple, a set of tuples used for model construction is known as training set. The model is represented as a classification rule. Now see, that particular model, whatever classification model that we will develop or we will describe, that model is represented as either a classification rule or a decision tree, or it may be considered as a mathematical formulae. Clear? So this is what the step. In case of model construction, what we have to do? In case of model construction, we have to specify predefined labels or predefined classes. So once this is done, then second step is what? Whatever data set we are having for categorizing or for classification purpose, that will be considered as a training data set. That will be considered as a training data set. Okay. And then whatever model up with that particular training data set and class label that is found, okay, that particular model may be considered as what we can say a classification rule, that may be considered as a decision tree, okay, or that may be considered as a mathematical formula. So we have many number of choices. We can use it for classification rules. We may use it to construct what a decision tree, or we may calculate certain mathematical formula that will give a final what we can say analysis of that particular what we can say data items inside that training data set. So this is what a first step, model construction. Now in classification, the another step is there that is known as model usage. Okay, once the model is constructed, we have to use that particular classification model for classifying future or unknown objects. Is it clear? What we have done? We have constructed classification model. Now whatever classification model is constructed, that is constructed from available data, available tuples, which is known as what? A training data. But once that classification model is constructed, it is to be used now. So it is used for classifying future or unknown objects or unknown data values. हमारे पास जो डेटा वैल्यूज थी उससे तो हमने मॉडल बिल्डअप कर लिया, लेकिन जो डेटा वैल्यूज हमारे पास नहीं है, फ्यूचर में आ सकती, कौन सी आ सकती, कौन सी ऐसी वैल्यूज है, उन वैल्यूज को हम अननोन वैल्यूज बोलेंगे, मिसिंग वैल्यूज बोलेंगे. तो उन मिसिंग वैल्यूज को निकालने के लिए, अननोन वैल्यूज को निकालने के लिए हम उस मॉडल का क्या करेंगे? यूज करेंगे. सो दिस इज व्हाट द सेकंड स्टेप. And while doing that, we have to calculate what? Accuracy estimation. We have to specify the accuracy estimation of that particular model. That we have to do, of course. Okay. Now, what is that accuracy estimation? The known labels of the test sample is compared with the classified results from the model. Now, whatever known results that we got from those particular training data sets, those known results are to be compared with what we can say the classified results from the model. इस मॉडल से जो classified result आएंगे उसके साथ हम compare करेंगे, and in that particular way we can find out the accuracy of that particular model. Another issue, accuracy rate is the percentage of the test set samples that are correctly classified by the model. So here this is to be given in case of what we can say the percentage. Then test is independent of training set, okay, otherwise overfitting will occur. Whatever test that we have done, of course model usage के अंदर हम test कर रहे हैं, so that will be independent of training set. So generally for prediction purpose or for what we can say testing purpose, we will make use of test data. Okay, training data set is different and test data set is different. I will come to that particular point later in this particular discussion. Okay, so test set is independent of training set, otherwise overfitting will occur. Okay, if the accuracy is acceptable, whatever accuracy that we have obtained, if that is acceptable, use this particular model to classify data tuples whose class labels are not known. Is it clear? अगर सपोज इस पर्टिकुलर मॉडल की एक्यूरेसी एक्सेप्टेबल है, हमें अगर ये लगता है कि नहीं ठीक ठाक है या अच्छे से है, okay, कि this will give fine results, so then the next step is what? We have to use this particular model to classify data. कौन सा डेटा? whose class labels are not known, जिनका क्लास लेवल्स हमें पता नहीं है, उसको क्लासिफाई कराने के लिए इस पर्टिकुलर मॉडल का यूज हम कर सकते हैं. So this is what we can say a classification as a two-step process. Now let us discuss whatever we have seen, okay, whatever we have discussed here, that we will specify with the help of what we can say the diagrams. Now, this is what the first stage जो हमने अभी देखे थे उसी के हिसाब से है प्रोसेस वन एंड दैट इज नोन एज व्हाट वी कैन से अ क्लासिफिकेशन मॉडल कंस्ट्रक्शन. Now see how this classification model is constructed. So here we are having this particular as a data set, and this is considered as what we can say a data warehouse, may be considered as data warehouse. From this data warehouse we have constructed what a training data. Now if we observe here in this particular database, we are having what we can say four attributes: name, rank, years and tenure. Now this is what the information of what we can say the teachers in a particular educational institute. As an example, I will specify what this particular information is. The name of the professor is what we can say, or the name of the teacher is what Mike, the first one. He is considered as assistant professor. He has an experience of 3 years of teaching, and tenure is no. So what the tenure is? So this tenure word is nothing but whether that particular teacher is a permanent teacher or not. Okay, so wherever the no is written, it means that he is a temporary teacher, and wherever the S word is written, it means that that particular teacher is what we can say permanent teacher. Okay, so we are having some records here as like what Mike is there, who is not permanent, Mary and Bill, those particular persons, and even Jim, those three persons are considered as permanent, whereas Dave and Annie, these are considered as again a temporary one. Now, for this purpose, of course, whether those are permanent or not permanent, okay, we should have certain logic, and that logic is given here. Okay, so this is considered as a training data. We will go to that particular point, of course. So this is considered as a training data, and over that particular training data, certain classification algorithm. Now we are going to discuss this classification algorithm in my next videos. There are basically many number of classification algorithm, and some of the popular algorithm may be considered as Bayesian algorithm and so on. Okay, so classification algorithms are there. By making use of those algorithms, we can classify data. Okay, which data? Of course, training data. So very simple, this training data is given to classification algorithm, and from by applying that particular classification algorithm or training data, a model is built, and that model is called as a classifier. That model is called as what? A classifier. So that particular model is built up. Now, how this classifier model is built up? So for building that classifier model, we can have certain conditional approaches, we can have certain program logic and so on. As like here we are having a condition, if rank equals to professor. Now here there is a rank column, second column is there, that is known as rank. And in case of rank column, we are having what we can say, assistant professor or professor. So rank is professor or years greater than 6. अगर कोई पर्टिकुलर टीचर की रैंक प्रोफेसर रैंक है या उसका ईयर्स ऑफ एक्सपीरियंस जो थर्ड कॉलम में दिया गया है वो ईयर्स ऑफ एक्सपीरियंस अगर सपोज कंसीडर करो 3 ईयर से ज्यादा है, ओके, तो ऐसे कंडीशन में उस पर्टिकुलर टेनर्ड एट्रीब्यूट की वैल्यू क्या आएंगी? यस. सो हाउ दिस डेटाबेस इज व्हाट वी कैन से क्लासिफाइड कि इफ दैट पर्टिकुलर टीचर रैंक इज कंसीडर्ड एज प्रोफेसर or if he is having an experience more than 6 years, then the tenured rank is given as S. And that's why we can observe here. Okay, in case of first one, why the tenured is written as no? Because the rank is not professor and even the years of experience is not more than 6 years. In case of second one, even if the rank is not professor, that is given as assistant professor, but the years of experience that is given as 7, and that's why the tenured value is considered as what we can say yes. So likewise for all these particular records we have calculated this tenured value. Clear? So what we have done, this is what a data set. Among that particular data set, whatever that is data is what we are combined, that is considered as training data. Certain association algorithm, of course there are many association algorithms that we are going to discuss in the next videos. The association algorithms, any of that is applied, and of course a model is calculated or the model is built up, and that model is called as classifier model. Okay, so this is what we can say a model construction as a first step in the classification process. Now how to use that model in prediction? Once that classification model is built up, the second step is usage of that particular classification model. And the usage of that particular classification model is for prediction purpose. Now, if we observe here, again we are having certain data set. I have already specified in my last slide also. For building up classification model, we use training data. And for using that classification model, we use testing data. Now, what is the basic difference that I supposed to what we can say specify? Training data is nothing but actual data that we are having. Whatever total data that we are having, that is considered as training data. And testing data is again one of the what we can say one of the part of that particular training data. And that's why we can say that suppose consider we are having some 100 data items here, okay, and among those 100 data items, if suppose 70 data items are considered as training data items, then 40, 50, 60 or remaining 30, whatever, it is not necessary कि among those 100, if 70 are considered as training data, the remaining 30 are to be considered as testing data. This is not necessary. Testing data items or testing data set may have the remaining 30 or more than 30 also. And the better approach is that the testing data item should have some data items from the training data set. Some data items from the training data set. Some or nearly what we can say equal data items from training data sets. So I will suggest here the training and testing data sets that should have nearly what we can say the similar data. Okay, so test data that is given to classifier. Classifier means what? The classifier that we have built up into the last process or last stage, whatever classifier is there. And from that particular classifier, the unseen data items, those were what we can say, those unseen data items that will be what we can say processed. As an example, if we observe here, there is Jeff, Professor and 4. These are the 3 data items. Now, if we observe here in this particular database, there is no occurrence of this Jeff, Professor or 4. Okay, but still for this particular person Jeff as a teacher and his occupation is professor and the years of experience is 4, we can say that the tenured value is yes. How it is done? In the first step, we have specified if the occupation is, if the rank is what we can say a professor, or if the years of experience is greater than 6, the tenured value is to be specified as S. So even if these 3 data values are not there inside this particular data set, testing data sets, then also for unseen data which one? J, professor and 4, we can calculate the tenured value as S. And this is actually a prediction. How we have done this? We have predicted this particular tenured value for Jeff as yes by making use of this particular classifier model. And this classifier model that we have built up in the first step only by what we can say working over this particular training data. So the classifier model in the second step is used for the prediction purpose, and this is what we can say a classification process. Clear? Okay, now while discussing this particular classification process, okay, 2 words are again more important one. One is called as supervised and second one is known as unsupervised learning. Supervised and unsupervised learning. Now see, supervised learning is generally used for classification purpose, whereas unsupervised learning is used for clustering purpose. Or we can have what we can say, even we can say in a different way also. Whenever the classification process is there, the supervised learning comes into play. Whenever the clustering process is there, then unsupervised learning comes into play. But what this supervised or supervision is? Now the training data that we have used in the first step of classification model construction, which may be considered as the observations, the measurements, that may be whatever database we are having, that may consist of some number of observation, that may consist of what we can say the measurements, okay. But those should be certain data items, okay. Those are accompanied by labels indicating the class of the observations, okay. And new data is classified based on this training set. And such types of what we can say data items which have certain labels are called as supervised learning approach, okay. So what is there in supervised learning in classification approach? in case of classification where the class labels are known, whatever data items are there that we can categorize, and this approach is only called as what we can say supervised learning. Whereas what is unsupervised learning? The class labels of training data is unknown. We know that in case of second step, the class labels of the training data, as like in case of what we can say the last example where we have used J, professor and 4. Now for these three data items, we don't know what is the class label. What is this J, what is this professor, what is this 4, that we don't know. But by making use of this, what we can say training data, we can calculate their class labels. Okay, class labels for this tenured as S, and this is what we can say considered as a prediction process, and that can be accomplished by using what unsupervised learning. So what is given in case of unsupervised learning or in case of clustering approach, the class labels of training data is unknown. Given a set of measurements or observation, whatever as like J, professor and 4, okay, with the aim of establishing the existence of classes or clusters in the data. So what we have done here, in case of supervised learning or classification, the class labels were already known. In case of unsupervised learning or clustering process, the class labels are not known and those are missing. So this is what an approach of classification. So here in this particular video, we have learned what this classification process is as a two-step process where the classification model is built up and then the classification model is to be used. The two words, those are again related to that classification and prediction is considered as what we can say supervised learning and unsupervised learning. Okay, so that we have discussed in this particular one, supervised learning and unsupervised learning. So this is what the discussion in this particular video. Hope you understood all these particular concepts properly, and thank you and keep watching my particular videos. Thank you.